Welcome to the 2023-2024 final budget presentation. My name is Daniel Borgo. I'm Interim School Business Administrator. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank our board members for all of their hard work throughout the school year, and a special thanks to Mr. DeGiorgio, Chairman of the Finance Committee, and to Ms. Ruvalo, Mrs. Butler, and Mrs. Case, who sit on the Finance Committee and are an integral part of the budget process. Student enrollment. As you can see from our first chart, we will see 4 years worth of actual enrollment with 1 year of projected. And over the past 3 years, you could see our enrollment has remained relatively constant between 829 students and 832 students. 2021-22 audited budget per pupil amount of K-8 districts with enrollment of 751 students or more. And this data came from the state of New Jersey. As you can see, Long Hill falls right in the middle of the 11 schools that were surveyed. Our per pupil cost is $20,346, and there are 5 schools lower than us and 5 schools higher than us. If you took an aggregate and found out the average of all 11 schools is $20,953, and we are slightly lower than the average of the 11 schools at $20,346. The budget process. Every school district's budget is a thoughtful plan of that community's values and priorities. Budget planning starts in October with the need to project what will occur as of June 30th, 2024. We will use our very best efforts to anticipate at that point in time where the district will finish in 21 months. This year, we held budget meetings with our administrative team and supplied them with budget worksheets and historical budget data from which they provided us with their proposed budgets in January. Additional information is then added and refined by myself, Dr. Rovtar, Interim Superintendent of Schools, and the Finance Committee until we arrive at the budget you will see this evening. Tonight, the board will vote on the final budget, which must be submitted to the county. 2023-24 operating expenses. The total school budget for 2023-24 is $22,647,337, which includes 2 large capital outlay projects, as well as various other capital outlay projects I will discuss a little later. This slide provides a detailed representation of cost as they are submitted to the New Jersey Department of Education budget software system. We will now look at a few of the larger categories of expenses. First category, first column, regular program instruction, $5,178,909. This includes salary of regular ed teachers in kindergarten through 8th grade, substitute, class coverage cost, regular ed home instruction, instructional staff travel, instructional supplies, including textbooks and curriculum items. Another larger expense is special education instruction. Included in this area is salaries of all of our special education classes, which include our LLD class, our new autistic class, behavioral disabilities, resource room, and preschool. This number also includes special ed home instruction and related instructional supplies. The total of special ed instruction is $1,539,715. Moving over to column 2, maintenance and operation. Maintenance of plants and services, grounds and security includes our expenses for our outsourced custodial services, waste disposal, water bill, property and casualty insurance, natural gas, electricity, custodial supplies, related repairs to maintenance, and maintenance supplies. Right below that, you will see transportation services in the amount of $1,341,249. This includes transportation for our regular education transportation, as well as our special ed transportation. Lastly, and our second largest number is employee benefits. Including in employee benefits would be our pension contribution, our medical, prescription, and dental premiums, net of employee contribution, tuition reimbursement, and Social Security. In the budget process, once expenditures are determined, it is time to turn to the revenues, or how will we be able to fund those expenditures. In every budget, revenues must match expenditures. As you can see, $22,647,337 would match the expenditure side of $22,647,337. The source of revenue in any school district are limited. The local tax levy is the primary source of funding in Long Hill, representing about 80% of the operating budget, not including capital projects, and that will be represented in blue. This year, state aid, represented by the light blue piece of the pie, comprises 5.6% of the district's revenue. Last year, it was 5% of the budget, so we had a slight increase after the governor awarded Long Hill an extra $140,000 in state aid over last year. The next highest source of revenue is anticipated federal aid, which includes all of our titles and IDEIA money, which fund federal initiatives for improving basic programs, support the development of teachers and principals, supporting English language learners, and providing funding towards special education services. The next highest source of revenue is the use of our own fund balance in the amount of $336,361. And that is represented by 1.5%. The amount of fund balance utilized in the 2023-24 budget is derived from excess surplus generated from the 21-22 budget. This means some combination of cost savings or unexpected additional revenue from projected revenues occurred in 21-22. While we always hope to finish the year with excess surplus, it is not reasonable to believe we can generate this amount of money each year, and therefore it is ill-advised to become too reliant upon fund balance for the payment of salaries and benefits, as it is not likely to be sustainable in the long term. Some other revenues would be our combined tuition, rental, and miscellaneous lines, which equal approximately $442,000 and includes tuition for preschool, facility use rental, anticipated insurance dividends, and interest earned at the bank with the increase of interest for CDs. Since we spoke of our revenues, we are now looking at a pie chart for our operating expense. You will see a breakdown by percentage of our expenses, and I would like to say that over 80% of our expenses are state mandated expenses that must be provided for public school education. So we are talking about less than 20% that is actually discretionary for the 23-24 school budget. Capital expenditures. The district is bidding out or award state contract for 2 capital projects, the funds for which will be taken out of our capital reserve account, which will have no impact on the tax levy. The capital reserve account is where the money is set aside specifically to support the district's long-range facility plan. The 2 projects are at Central School, faculty restroom renovations, and also at Central School, installation of a new fire alarm system. Some other capital projects we will be doing are classroom upgrades, playground equipment, replacement of a dump truck, and field renovations. So where does that put us financially? The district was not entitled to any adjustments or waivers in this budget and has bank cap from prior years, but we are not utilizing it. The 2% tax levy increase over the 22-23 budget is approximately $355,000. We had state aid increase of $140,000. And this budget must accurately reflect expenditures and revenues to be sustainable. The Long Hill Township tax impact. Our tax levy increase is approximately $355,000. The tax levy increase for the year on a home assessed at $578,000 will be $107, or approximately $8.92 per month. 15-year historical tax levy increases. This graph provides a historical look at the tax levy over the past 15 years. And as you can see, over the past 3 years, our tax levy is stabilizing in the green area, which is highly recommended, which would be a little less than 2% or a little above 2%, with no spikes in our tax levy. I would like to thank the administrative team, our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Renee Rovtar, our Board of Education for their hard work and continued support of the Long Hill Township Board of Education. And we would like to thank you, the community, for your continued support in the education of our children. If you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out and contact me or Robin Bulmer at the below email addresses, or you can call 908-647-1200 extension 1035. Thank you for your time and supporting the Long Hill Township Board of Education.